Hey, what's up? So since we created our form, let's now dispatch action using that form. So when I go in the UI and add a text inside this input, so let's run the server, npm run start, and when I go and click this button, this click should dispatch an action like we did in the first video to add this to-do list, to add this to-do inside our to-do list. So this dispatch function will dispatch this action, and this will return this object, which our reducer will switch on the type of that and add new to do inside our list. So this should be easy to do. So this is now our form, and we will actually start by importing the useState function. So we'll use React hooks, so useState. And we will do this, we will use this here at the top. So const, this will be we will destruct from the useState. This will return an array of two things. The first index is the state. You can name it anything you want, so you can name it like this, but I'll call it state. The second one is the function to update the state. You can name it as well anything you want, since I'm destructuring an array, so I'll call it set state. And our state will be just a text with an empty string, and that's it. That's the default state in this component. And what I will do, the form control, this one will have a default value, or the value for this one, the value will be like this, state.txt, and on change, this will be a function which I will create here at the top after the state. I will call it const update txt. This will take just a string, I'll call it text, and use the setState function to update the text. You can do this, as you can see, or just a shortcut, since they are the same token, like this. So each time a change will happen in this form, it will go and update the state with the new text. As you can see, this is the argument. This will be the text inside the form, and each change is a little bit different from the normal form. The normal form, you will have the event arguments, you will get the target, then the value, but here our suite will simplify stuff for us. They will immediately just pass the string here, and it's really awesome. So let's now just console log the state, and let's go to the browser and check what will happen. Yeah, so this is the state for this component. Each change I do here will modify the text attribute in the state. So this is nice. Now we need to hook up this function that dispatches our action. And let me remove this so we do things from the start. This create to do will be actually triggered on the click of this button. So we'll go here, and first thing we will dispatch, and this, remember, the dispatch function is passed as a props for this component, since we use the connect function like this. Okay, and you know something, let me remove this and just leave it like that. And yeah, I will get the to-dos, I'll destruct them and just do this. I think this is much cleaner. Actually, if you want it to be really clean, if you're having a raw function with only single line, you can remove the body and remove the return. And since you're returning an object, this won't work because this is like the body of the function, right? You can wrap them in parentheses. And look how clean this is. We are returning the to-dos from the state, and that's it, as an object. Really nice. So, and this dispatch function will be available since we passed this component to the function returned from the connect function. So we will dispatch the add to do action. So let's call this here, and the return value from the add to do will be passed to the dispatch, and it will call our reducer. So this is very nice, but we need to actually put like new to do and pass here an ID, then a text. The text will be the state.txt, This is obvious, but the ID, it's really bad idea to have the same IDs, right? Then how we can delete a specific text, specific to do, since some of them might have the same text, so we need to make them unique by the ID. And there is actually a good library for this. One of them is let me show it to you, the UUID library, or this one, UUID, or one that I like, it's called short ID. I like to use this with React. It produces short strings that are unique. So what you need to do is npm restore short ID like this, but I already did that. So what I will do, I'll import from short ID the generate function, and I will use this here. I think we have something wrong here, but let's just wait. I will fix it. Maybe because I did not save anything. Yeah. Okay, so now after dispatching this action, we need to make the state empty again. Because if you think about it, let me now log the state and the to-dos, and just show you what will happen now. Let me verify this. So this is our state, and this is the to-dos array. So let's now add a new to do. So I will put something logical like feed doc. So this is the state for component, this is the to-dos. Now if I hit to create, you will see that this is now the state, the to-dos part of our store. We have only one element, one to-do, and this is the ID for it. This is a short ID, and this is a text. We can actually create many of them like this. As you can see, the ID is always unique, but the text is the same. But I think it's a better idea even for the user. Just when the user hits return or hits create, you should remove this, right? Makes much more sense. To remove this, we'll just use the setState function and return the state to its original form from the start. We'll just make it an empty string. Now, if I go here and put feed the dog and hit enter, the state is returned to empty, but the Redux store has the to-dos array with one element, which is nice. So now 2 elements. And as you can see, each element we put will be at the end of the array, right? So this is why this happens, because I am adding the previous array, then adding our new to-do at the end. That's why. So, yeah. And another cool thing we can do, we need to notify the user that everything is fine when each action he or she does. So we'll put this, and at the end here, or before this, I will add it with success. This will show us a beautiful notify. I'll use the backstick character. This is actually, if you are using a normal keyboard, the standard one, it's next to the one character inside your keyboard. And what you can get from this, you can add normal string. So added to do, I will put txt as, or the text is, I will inject inside this string the state.txt, then I will make it empty. So that's why I put it here, so I can use it before it's empty. And this is actually called, this string, I think it's called template string, and the character itself is called backstick. So this is a backstick character, but the string itself in JavaScript called template strings. So let's now check this out. You can remove this. So feed the dog, added to do text is feed the dog, feed yourself, as you can see. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it works. Now in the next video I will hook up our Redux dev tool. Let me show you what that is. As you can see, I have this one here, but if you go to inspect, we should see it here. This will show us our store, our global store here, so we can actually look at it in a clear way, since this is not good, me displaying me console logging stuff here. So I will use Redux for that, the Redux dev tool. I will hook it up in the next video. Then after that, we need to create a component that displays all of these to-dos, because now we have two, but we need to see them. And after that we will have a delete functionality. So yeah, I hope this was basic, and yeah, thank you.